up, guys? Back again with another new edition on some shoes that I just did. Apologies, I was gone for like 3 weeks, I believe. I had COVID and that was no joke. I was tired all the time. Just to get from the bed to the couch like was super fatiguing, super tiring, and I was fatigued like all the time. So finally recovering. I'm on the tail end. Hopefully I get my test results back saying I'm clear so I can actually go outside and do some things. But yeah. I'm back now. I'm feeling better. COVID is no joke. That is real. It kicked my butt. I ain't gonna lie, but not as much. I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. So, but it did put me on my butt for about a week and a half. So be sure to like and subscribe. Remember that. Subscribe. All it takes is a click of a button to support. So please support your boy. All right. Today's video, I did some Bape custom shoes for one of my friends in Florida, and they came out rather nicely. I don't have them now. I shipped them off, but I think they came out really well. This by far was probably one of the toughest shoes I did because I couldn't really rely on the airbrush as much, and it was all hand done, hand painted, hand drawn and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say by far this was probably the toughest one and the most time consuming one. So I suggest for all you customizers out there, make sure you give your clients a good time frame of when they'll get their shoe back. I didn't go beyond the time, but I was right at that mark, and that was right when I got sick. So I would say give yourself an extra week. For all you customizers, give yourself an extra week just to get through the shoe. And then if any other things pop up, like you get sick or you got to go somewhere, you got to fly somewhere, give yourself extra time on that. But yeah, this was probably one of the most challenging shoes that I did. But I think you guys enjoyed this video, so let's roll. So from the beginning of this process, I created the stencil, the Bape stencil in Procreate, put it in the Cricut machine, and that laid that stencil out. Now I had to take each stencil out individually and place it on the shoe, and then go around with my pen and mark it with the shoe. It was tough. This was probably the hardest part, just because it was, you're drawing around, you're having to take up the tape, put the tape back down, all that good stuff. Some of the challenging parts in the shoe were the heel of the shoe and the front of the shoe. Trying to trace the front and hold the shoe in the position that you need to hold it in that was challenging. That was challenging for sure. Sides of the shoes, not too much. They were pretty easy. knock that out. Now that the shoe is all done and all stenciled in, the next step is basically, because I did it in pen, covering a layer of white over it, just because you don't want that pen to show up after you put in like your oranges, your reds and all that. That paint will still kind of see, you'll still kind of see the pen marks. So I put a layer of white down. I tried this with my airbrush, it didn't work. My airbrush was acting up again. Figured it out though, for all you guys that watched my last videos. I did figure it out. I bought a strainer, this one right here. So taking the time to put the paint through here, getting all the chunks out, and then putting my thinner in, that helped out a lot on the last pair of shoes that I just did, which were the Lakers shoes. But yeah, put the layer of white down, and then all I have to do now is just add my color, and it's pretty easy after that. next most challenging part for me is mixing the colors. It takes me such a long time to find the colors that I need to put on the shoe, as far as mixing them, creating them and all that good stuff. With a lot of colors on a shoe, it gets tough for me. It gets tough for me just because one, I can't waste acrylic paint. It is expensive. That's number one. And number two, I just always seem to have the colors just be slightly off. So it takes me, I have to do it like one time, color slightly off, then I have to go back and do it another time, color slightly off, and then I have to go back and do it a third time. And by that time I wasted some paint, and that's where it gets expensive. So I know with trial and error, it'll get better and better and better. So I'm just working on that, and this would probably be the second most challenging part of the shoe. I also know that my price point, I gotta, for something like this, I know I gotta up my price, because this took a lot of manpower and a lot of man hours, I would say. So I learned doing this shoe that I gotta up my price, just based on the time that it took me to do all of this. Is the liner of the shoe. I had to mix in, where is it at? Too Soft. Angela's Too Soft was my Angela's paint. If you put acrylic paint on fabric, it becomes super, super hard. I learned that in just one of the shoes that I did a long time ago. It becomes stiff and hard. So what you want to do is you want to add Too Soft, like again, you guys can see it. You want to add Too Soft to your guys's paint, and then when you do the fabric, you can't really tell that you painted it. It's nice and squishy. The fabric's still there. It feels just like how it normally should feel. So I did my liner. Now I'm just doing the tape. I gave it plenty of time to dry. I gave it like 2 days about 2 days to dry, because that was my first time actually using the Too Soft. I learned it a while ago, but I never got to apply it because I never did sock liners before. But with this design, I did have to do the liner. So gave it 2 days to dry, came out great. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. That whole process really kicked my butt. I'm not gonna lie, just one, getting COVID during that process, that one really set me back. But two, just learning that I need to up my price point on something like this, just because I had to, again, do everything by hand. The amount of colors, the amount of acrylic paint that I used, all that good stuff. So a lot of lessons learned. But yeah. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Again, like the video, subscribe, comment for any pointers. Again, I'm trying to be the #1 designer in Phoenix, customizer in Phoenix. So, yep, hit me up. Peace.